Hi everybody, we're going to be starting a Facebook Live here shortly with past life regression, and I'm just here a little early so we can get connected up into the main system for the Body, Mind, Spirit event Galway. So that's, if you come here and see me, that's what we're doing here. We're just waiting and watching and watching and waiting. So we get hooked up and we'll start the talk at 1:35. Although my house clock says it's 1:30, my other clock says it's 1:26. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll delete that. Hello. We're just kind of waiting to get hooked up into the mainframe before we start the talk. This is going to be, the talk is going to be past life regression in you, and we're going to talk a little bit about it and what it is or isn't, and you can ask questions, all sorts of lovely things you can do. And we'll be starting here in just a few minutes once I've seen that Freddie has hooked us into the main page. Then we'll be ready to rock and roll. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. We're sort of just hanging loose, waiting to be tied into the mainframe, so to speak. Hello. We're just waiting to be hooked up so that we can start our talk. The talk is past life regression and you. We'll be talking about what past life regression is, what it isn't, how it helps, and we'll be talking, answering any questions that you might have. No fuss, no muss. We'll just get straight into it there and ask whatever questions we need to. No problem at all. Excuse me. La-di-da-di-da. Come on, Freddie, hook us up. And we're going to get going here in just a minute. We're just waiting to be all connected up and ready to rock and roll. Hi, everybody. We're going to be starting the talk here very soon. We're just waiting for to be connected by Freddie, and we'll start the talk here just very, very soon. Y'all keeping okay? The talk is past life regression and you. And we're going to talk a little bit about what they are, what they aren't, how they help. What are we actually looking for, and pretty much what do we do in a regression? Okay. Another 3 minutes and we're going to go ahead and get started. Freddie, we're waiting on you. Hello, how we doing? We're just sort of waiting here to be hooked up into the mainframe so that we can begin our talk. We're about 2 minutes away from starting. My name is Mary Anderson. I know lots of you, and some of you I don't know. But we'll get into all that here in just a few minutes. Another minute, and we're going to get started, whether he's hooked us up or not. We're going to get started and get stuck into this, because that's the way we work. Y'all keeping well? You enjoying yourself today? I hope so. I hope you're enjoying today's sessions and stuff. All right. Less than 60 seconds now, and we'll be getting started. All right. Nearly there. It won't be long now, peoples. Almost there. Okay. Well, for those of you, thank you for watching the replay here today. My name is Mary Kay Anderson. I am a retired nurse, holistic practitioner, but a hypnotherapist as well. And with that training in hypnotherapy, I have begun to work as a past life regressionist, and we talk about past life regression. So, what is past life regression to you? What is it you think about when you think about past life regression? You can make little comments down here. That's fine. Let us know. What is past life regression to you? Let me ask you this question. Have you ever had a talent or something that just was out of the blue? Something that you could do that you were never taught to do? Well, that could be a sign of having had a past life in which you were proficient in that particular skill. Have you ever had deja vu? All of a sudden you go, oh my gosh, I have had this happen to me before. That could be a sign that you've had a past life with that in that particular moment. Have you ever just met somebody and oh my gosh, it's like I've known you all my life? Well, that can be a past life connection, or it could be a soul connection. It could be one of both. There's lots of things. Have you ever had a dream in which felt so real that it was about past times, old times, and it felt so real, like it was actually happening? That could be a past life dream. So past lives, first question I always get is, are they real? Well, to be quite honest with you, I don't know if they're real. I do not know. I have no actual proof that I can hold up to science and say, yes, this is real because of A, B, C, and D. I don't. All I have is my experiences. All I have is what I know by being an energy therapist and knowing how energy works, and by other people's experiences and my experiences throughout. So it's anecdotal that I have. So that's not the important part. Is it real or not? What's important is, what can you get from past lives that will help you? So the reality is, I don't know if it's real or not. I'm not here to tell you what to believe or how to believe, or that it's so real and if you don't follow it, you're going to miss something fantastic in your life. I don't know that, okay? And I'm not here to tell you that. What I'm here to tell you, that as a therapy, past life regression can help you unlock doors that feel like they've been slammed closed all of your life. It can help you to move ahead in this life because of some energy that is stuck within you. And by unlocking that door to that past life and resolving the issues that are held there, you can free up your life right now, today. Just that simple, with a past life regression. I've seen it happen multiple times. So a lot of people go on with past life regression from a very spiritual point of view, okay, which is fine. That's how I came to understand past life regression, is from a spiritual sort of point of view. But I approach this from an energy point of view because I understand energy. I understand how energy works. And so based on the basic principles of how energy works, this is how I present and work with past lives and past life regression. So if we look at energy and how energy works, the first thing we're going to see is we have the law of conservation of energy, which says energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. So if energy cannot be destroyed, then what about the energy in our body when we die? What happens? Okay. Now people go, oh yeah, you don't have energy. You do. You have energy in your body. That some people call it their soul, their spirit. What is it? I'm not exactly sure myself there, but the bottom line, it is an energy. I can measure it. As a retired nurse, I could do an EKG and measure the energy of your heart. We could do an EEG and measure the energy of your brain. We can do what they call a squid and measure the energy of your organs. Your energy can be, oh dear. Your energy can be measured. Gosh, is everybody hearing me okay? One of my earbuds seems like it's gone down. Can everybody hear me? Would somebody give me a like or something to let me know that they're hearing me okay? Okay. What I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to take these out because I'm not sure they're working. Okay. Boom. All right. So we're going to do this, and hopefully that's going to solve, because I'm getting a bit of ring back. So they may or may not have been working. Apologies. Okay, so if you haven't been hearing me, now you're hearing me. Sorry about that. But I think you could have heard me because I checked them and they worked when I started, but something kind of clicked in there. So I think they must have gone off. So anyway, past life regression is past life past lives are a matter of energy. So if we look at the energy of who we are, when we die, if the law of conservation of energy is true, which that is a scientific fact, if that is true, then the energy of who we are must live on in some form or another. So what does it do? Does it go off and go to heaven or hell, the good place, the bad place? Does it sort of roam around the universe looking for its next place to light? What does it do? How does it survive? How does it interact once it's left our body? And there's a lot of theories out there about that. And some of the things I've said are some of the things people believe. We go to the good place or we go to the bad place. Or, we have something going on or we don't. It's one of the two. So if the law of the conservation of energy is true, then what that says is the soul, the energy, the part of us that is divinely us goes somewhere, whether it's to that mid-space, a resting space, a creative space, wherever it goes, but it survives and lives on within the universe. Okay? Now, when we talk about reincarnation and regression, what we're talking about are Middle Eastern sort of theories about having to come back to either to atone for another life or to be rewarded for another life that we lived. So if we go back to the law of conservation of energy, what that means is our energy comes out of this body. It goes to some space, whether it's our own sort of energetic space or whether it's the good place or the bad place. And it goes there and it basically makes a decision. So it must be conscious, joins the big consciousness, and it makes a choice. Do I hang where I am, or do I go back and do something else? Now, in some of the earlier religions, they believe that reincarnation is mandatory until you can flip yourself off the wheel of reincarnation by having atoned for all those bad things that you did and coming out that, yeah, I had this really great life. I don't have to do with this anymore. To put that in terms a little more simpler, basically how I look and how I feel that past lives and reincarnation are being looked at today is it's a choice. Past lives are a choice. We choose whether or not we're going to reincarnate. We don't have this compulsion. It's not a compulsion or a mandatory thing. We go back, and if we like what we did, we come back and maybe do something better. Or maybe it was a bit of a tough life and we decide we want to come back and get it right or do that thing better. And we come back and reincarnate in this body. So that piece of us that was this part of us that goes back to that space rejoins our consciousness. And then a decision is made within that consciousness. It says, yeah, I'm going to go back. Or no, I don't think so. I think I'm just going to hang where I am. So now we have a consciousness intervention, which is the universal consciousness that says, yeah, you're going to go back. So now what happens? Well, let's step back to where the energy left the body. So when I die, I'll just use me as an example. When and if I decide I'm going to live a long time, but when and if I die, the part of me that is me, the energy of me leaves, but it leaves with imprints. Okay. It's not perfect because I certainly didn't live a perfect life. Okay. Everything that I have learned, understood, did right, did wrong, fixed or didn't fix is encoded in that energy. And if it's encoded properly, then it's encoded within the meridians, okay, of what my body was. It's encoded correctly. However, if there's things I didn't get right, if there's things I messed up, then it's encoded in an askew way. Okay. In other words, instead of being with the vertical with meridians, it might be crossways, upside down. It could be doing this. It could have slashes. I've seen when I look at people, I see their soul energy and I see lots of energy slashes across the body where it's dark, where there's been a harm or a scar or something they didn't learn or something they didn't understand. Okay, so that all goes with our energy and goes back to the space and place with us, because that is what we have and haven't learned, or have and haven't done. So that's great. So now, when we decide to reincarnate, okay, here we come. Our energy says, okay, we're going to go down and we're going to do this. And so here it comes, sound effects. And it comes in and it binds into the body. It enters the soul, the spirit, the energy, whatever you want to call it, enters into the body, okay? And now what happens? Something quite interesting. I believe this is how it works, because it's energy. The energy of the spirit or the soul, I call that spiritual DNA, all right? With all of its flaws, with all of its successes, with all of its lessons learned or lessons unlearned, now begins to, what I call, fuse with the physical DNA, okay? And it now becomes our DNA, all right? Our general, we have spiritual and physical DNA that merge together, okay? The physical DNA is genetics and family and everything that comes on. Energetic is all of that stuff and more. Spiritual is everything. So that comes together. And now, if we have things that are that we haven't done well or right, then again, we'll get this binding, but then we get interruptions in our body meridian, because that energy is coming in a misaligned pattern. All right. So if the body is aligned, then we bring in an energy that has misalignments in it. It creates those, what I call, energy scars across the body. Sometimes they're in the head, sometimes they're in the torso, the legs, whatever. And this then becomes our karma. I'm saying the word karma because I'm not a big believer in karma. But if we're going to talk about karma, that's what it is. It is karma are the unlearned lessons that we're carrying within our soul and within our body. Okay, that is karma. That's my energetic definition of what karma is. Okay, that's karma. So now I'm going to give you a little discussion about this quote karma thing. Okay, I hear people time after time telling me, well, they're having a problem, but it's my karma. I have to do it. Well, that sends my alarm bells up straight away. Just because it's karma, because they don't understand that karma is misaligned energy and energy lessons we haven't learned. Having it be your karma does not mean you, quote, have to do it. It means you have to change it. This is your opportunity to bring forward and correct something that you didn't correct before, particularly if it's big and, alarm bells going off saying, this is a problem, this is a problem. So now it's saying, when it says this is a problem, then we have to look for what it is we need to correct. When we correct those misaligned energy patterns, then we have realignment and we have peace within ourselves. We have realigned our energy patterns and we now are living a more aligned life based on that, quote, past life energy pattern that we brought in with us. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? And if you have any question, please drop a note here and say that, ask your question. I'll be more than glad to answer it. So that's how that works. So what's the benefit of past life regression? Well, a lot of people, and I'm just going to make a bold statement here. If somebody tells you, if you are going to have past life regression and they go back and you tell them all the things that you find or see, or somebody gives you a past life reading and says, yeah, this is what was going on, blah, 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 blah. But they offer no solution, or they don't do any therapeutics with you to resolve that situation. Well, then you've just been nosy. Because the purpose of going back to these issues are to correct the energy patterns so that we can move more freely and clearly forward in our life. Okay? Much more freely, much more clearly. I have an example of someone who couldn't sleep on their back. They couldn't sleep on the back since the day they were born, apparently. And when I was teaching the intro course, we had done a group regression, and when they came back, they had kind of been said, oh, they'd been kind of on a boat, and they were, they had pain in their back because they were apparently a slave. Okay, and that's fine. So when I got ready to do a demo, I asked this person, would you like to be part of the demo? And they said, sure. So they came up and we reworked all that. We found that truly they were a slave on a boat. They were beaten in the back, whip marks all over them, and that they were, held on this boat. And so through that, we went through and we worked through different issues like, say, being stolen from their home, separation from husband and children, all abandonment issues, all sorts of issues, and then the back with the healing on the back. And so we did that, and we rectified those issues within that life. And the very next day, when they came back to the second day of class, told us that they slept on their back for the first time in their life. Slept on their back. There was no pain in their back any longer. So there can be physical issues that are related to this as well, not just concepts and ideas and things that we do, but physical issues can be brought to this. Also, since then, they've been on a boat. So we can correct these things. These things are correctable as they're connected into the energy of what we've brought in with us when we incarnate or come into this life. Okay? So, excuse me. So my job as a past life regressionist is to connect you to the patterns that you want to change in that past life, from that past life. Now, the other thing that we do is some people are just curious. Some people just want to know, was I, what I was something great or wonderful. And, maybe I was royalty or whatever. And that's all cool. And I love doing those because they're fun. They're very fun sort of past lives where we just take them up and we bring them back and ask them to go to the space or place that they feel comfortable in or that they want to go to. We're going to investigate. And we begin to work that way, and have some pretty funny things that have happened. So some great things happen with people, and they have a great time doing that sort of thing. So we have a curious regression, or what I call investigation. I mean, not investigational, but a fun one, general. And then we have targeted. Targeted is when we have a particular emotion or a particular issue or a particular pattern that we want broken, that we don't know where it's come from. We don't have a clue. Or we've done everything we possibly know to do, and it's still a problem. And by doing that, we connect to that, and we take you back to that place and the space. So we can help people change things in their body, change things in their mind, change things in their soul even, because that's where this is all being lodged and stored, is in the soul. So have any of you out there, any of y'all had regressions done, past life regressions done? And if you have, make a comment and tell me how they went. Or if you're curious, just give me a note what interests you about past life regression. So to put that all in a little nutshell, our energy, which is our soul or our spirit, carries patterns that we've lived. And we go to, when our physical body dies, our energetic body goes to either a good place, a bad place. Wherever you think it goes is where it goes. I'm not going to here to tell you where it goes because I don't know. However, it goes into the universe. It becomes part of the universe again. Okay? Part of the universe. And then in that space and place where we are, we decide, do I need to come back and see if I can fix this? Or do I need to come back and maybe do something better? Or maybe I'll just hang out for a while and just relax and chill because I'm tired. And we have serial incarnators, which come back and they're the warrior types who say, right, going to do it right this time. And they just don't give themselves any space between lives. It's boom, 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 boom. And they end up being exhausted before it's all over with and come back and kind of go down the tubes before it's all over with because they're pushing too hard. So the bottom line is, so then when we decide to come in, when we come in, not only does this energy carry what we've done right or who we are or who we want to be, it also carries what we've not done so well. And then when it comes in, it integrates with the physical DNA and becomes who we are. And if there are patterns, like say in a past life, we had problems with being enslaved or, not knowing our own mind or speaking our voice. If we come back to another life in which that is a problem, well, in which we want to learn how to fix that, it's going to be a problem straight off the bat. Okay, it's just going to be a problem because we just left a life like that and we want to fix it in this life. So the energy is going to be askew in some way. Maybe we have problems with our voice. Maybe we just feel like we're up in a little ball and we can't do anything. There's all sorts of ways that can manifest itself. Okay, and so it's a problem straight off the bat. But maybe there's another life back where we were very strong and very powerful. And when we come in, we have those attributes, but because that other spot of not speaking our mind is so recent and is still in there, it's the one that takes precedence. Okay, we don't access that strength that we have because that other life is so prevalent and so recent, and we come back trying to fix that very same thing. It's a flare right away. Okay, now. There's other things that I have learned as I've been working with this that are deeper patterns that once we start clearing up some of the more obvious ones, they come up to be addressed as well. And so we end up beginning to be able to clear lots and lots of different patterns that we have. So it's a therapy. And if you're going to do this to fix something, then there has to be therapeutic measures taken. If there is not, then it's nothing more than just being curious and finding out what's going on. So if you want something sorted, be sure you're getting therapeutic past life regression. Past life regression that will help you to fix what's going on. Because I've talked to people in the past and they said, oh yeah, I found out it was this or that and it was connected to this in this life. I said, well, how did you fix it? Oh, I just know that's what it is. Well, that's no good. You've got to be able to sort that out, fix that, or else it just still continues to be a problem. Just because you open the book and you notice that on page 6, there's a reference to something that was on page 25, doesn't mean you know what's on either page. It just means you know there's a connection, okay? When you get down and read the two, then you can go, oh, yeah, that connects to that, and that's the problem, and that's the solution. Yeah, a lot more information. So that's my main story to you today is I want you, if you're not being provided solutions or being taken through therapeutic measures to correct this, then basically you've thrown your money down the drain. I'm just being honest. That's what I think. That's what I believe. Doesn't mean I'm right. I can be wrong. I will be the first to stand up and say, hey, I might be wrong. But that's what I believe. And that's from my own experiences and experiences that I've had with clients. And the bottom line is people go, well, will I come back? Well, I haven't lost anybody yet. Everybody I've ever regressed, they have always come back to me, but in a better state of mind, with full knowledge of what's going on and the ways and things that they can help to change to make that pattern better, to make themselves better, to get rid of the problem that's been haunting them for however long, most of their lives or whatever. So it's a beautiful therapy, but it has to be used in a therapeutic method, in a therapeutic way. Now, there's lots of ways we can have feelings about it. We can kind of understand, or we have dreams. But when we do a regression, there's many ways we can do it. We can do it by using phrases. We use it by emotions, or we use it, and then because I'm a hypnotherapist, I use hypnosis to help people get into a beautiful trance so that they can go back to the space and place. And you say, well, how does that happen? Well, because our subconscious knows everything and can and is sort of like the protector, okay? It knows and connects into all parts of our energy, so it can give us that information that we're looking for. And I have the thing I hear people say all the time, oh, I'm just making this up. It might feel like it. I've said that myself. I said, God, I have to be making this up. This is craziness. But I don't believe it is. I believe that there are definite connections to everything of who we were, to who we are, to who we're going to be. And it's up to us to clear the patterns that are causing us problems, to clear the issues that are standing in the way of our success, of what it is to know who we are and the power. Do you know what people are afraid of most of all? I have more people come in with, we've got phobias and, things. They're afraid of heights. They're afraid of animals. They're afraid of water. They're afraid of themselves. But really, what are they afraid of? They're afraid of their own power. This is the main thing that I have discovered in doing all this work. People are afraid of their power. They're afraid of engaging their self and who they are and getting out and showing themselves. Now, a lot of that's through socialization. A lot of that is from past lives. A lot of that is just from energy that is all askew within us, and we don't know how to clear it out. Well, doing past life regression is one way that we can clear that out. We had another person that I worked with who we did a different way to access. We used a particular phrase. And using the phrase, at first it was happening. It's like when we do you're connecting to a particular energy. So he was using this phrase and it was connecting to the energy. And nothing seemed to be happening for a while, but I kept going, believe in the process. So I just kept saying, just keep repeating it. And he did over and over and over. And finally he says, oh my God, I'm getting cold. I said, okay, what else is happening? I'm shivering. I said, all right. He said, I'm tied. I'm all tied up. I said, okay. And where are you? He goes, oh my God, they're going to kill me. I said, well, what's happening? And apparently there's a mass grave in front of me. They've tied me and they're getting ready to shoot me and throw me in the grave. Okay. So what did we do? We went back through and found out, how did he get there? Where was he from? Why was he being shot? And what this was? And we helped to change that energy pattern. And for him, it was about engaging with others, that people that he didn't know, or people that were unfamiliar to him, or even things that were unfamiliar, because there was this fear of being murdered and buried in a mass grave, being unknown. So lots of things can come out of this when we work with past life regression. And it's just brilliant. It's been, I've been brought kicking and screaming into doing past life regression because I was like, I want to help people now. But what I found is there are some people, it just can't be helped now, that we have to go back to that. And we have to get into that certain energy set so that we can help them to change the patterns and to burst those bonds that have been keeping them tied up maybe for centuries. And now they're able to move forward. I've had some funny ones. I've had a few where people, their body gets them. We get the body-mind experience going on, and they'll be mimicking stabbings or bursting through things, and they can be. We get a little giggle, but we do get the work done too. So it's fun. Some of them can be quite fun. Some of them can be quite painful. Some of them are just okay. I got that. But the bottom line is they can help you. Always have. They can help you. And they're just absolutely a brilliant, brilliant way. Now, what I'd like to share with you, because my time's running out here, I'd like to share with you that, number one, if you are seeing this, and this offer will hold, if you're listening on replay, that's amazing. This offer will hold until 1 week from today. So today's the 24th, 7, 4 is 11, 31st. 30 days has September, April, June, and November. Okay, so it's 30 days. So until next Saturday, which is the 1st of May. So until the 1st of May, if you write in the comments, I saw you, then you will be able to partake of a discounted past life regression with me. Okay? So I'm going to give anybody who comes in here until the 1st of May and says, I saw you, I will contact you. I will send you a message on Facebook, and connect with you so that we can go ahead and get you organized for your discounted past life regression, your own personal experience. That'll be for you. Also, I'm going to be, on this page, I will be also putting out information for a webinar. It's free. How about that? A free webinar on past life regression, in which we're going to talk a little more about it. And we're actually going to maybe do a few demonstrations. And if you're interested in that, just leave me a note that says webinar, and I'll get back to you to say what, when, and where it is and everything. And it's really interesting. And then before long, we're going to be doing another class, but classes are kind of on hold right now. So we're trying to figure that little part out. But so for the most part right now, we'll be doing a webinar in which we're going to be talking more about past life regression and getting more interaction with you so that you can know more about it and so that you can understand. And some people, like I said, I was a hypnotist first, and then I realized this past life work was really good and interesting. And so I started doing it. And so I want to share with you how, if you are interested, you can become a past life regressionist as well. So it has been an absolute pleasure talking to all of you. Thank you for being here. Remember, if you are watching on the replay or live, give me a comment that says, I saw you, and I will be in touch with you on Facebook then to offer you a discounted personal past life regression. And if you are interested in knowing more about past life regression or even becoming a regressionist, go ahead and write webinar, and I'll get in touch with you with webinar. Thank you so much. I love all of you so much, and I want the best, and I want you to find the true you, the you that knows who they are and where they're going, and access that part of you that is the most brilliant part. Okay? Thank you all, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.